Another CYT-Crypto episode. My name's Stephen Aitchison, and today we'll be going over the markets, looking at the Bitcoin price, looking at a couple of news stories, not that many news stories. Everything's kind of going sideways just now. Oh, one wee second, I've still got the sound on this. What's going on? Yeah, I've still got the sound on it. Yeah, a couple of news stories. Everything's kind of going sideways just now. All coins, Bitcoin's going down at the moment as well. And we'll look at the main kind of story. My kind of headline is that the Bitcoin price has nothing to do with Trump or Iran. It's nothing to do with international affairs. It's just a coincidence that it's going down, and probably because it hit the upper kind of line of a descending channel, which I spoke about yesterday, and I said it's probably going to go short. That's exactly what's happened here. So it's nothing to do with the news, but we'll look at that as well, see what your thoughts are on that as well, and you can let me know. If you're watching just now, and you can see the comment area, leave a comment just to let me know you're in and where you are in the world as well, just to get you started commenting on these kind of videos as well. I like to, because there's a lot of people watch but not everybody comments, and it's good to get everybody involved in the conversation as well. And if you've got any charts you want me to look at as well, let me know. I'll be looking at the charts. The alts will probably start coming back up because Bitcoin has gone down, unless it drops down big time. But they all should start coming back up, and hopefully there's going to be a confluence. There's going to be a day when they both go up at the same time, and Bitcoin goes up and the altcoins go up as well. So we're looking forward to that day when it comes. So there's going to be an altcoin run, altcoin season again, hopefully. Okay, I'm just going to jump over to the chat area, just make sure everything is okay first of all. Yep, everything looks good. Hopefully the sound is okay as well. I'll just jump over to the chat area. There's not many people in, but that's cool. We have first in this morning is Nulls Bull is in, so good morning to you. Gino Dahl is in the house. Honest Crypto Journey is in, good to see you back, mate. Mervyn Skidmore is in. Gary Permenter is in. Lucky I pulled the pin just before to drop for a change. Dennis van der Hayden is in the house as well. Nulls Bull, just coincidence, see, just Bitcoin doing its thing. Exactly. I don't think it's anything at all to do with Trump or kind of Iran or anything that's going on over there just now. I have been keeping a close eye on that, but nothing to do with the Bitcoin price, just been keeping a close eye on it. And I don't watch the news, I'm not a news watcher at all, but big events like that, obviously I keep an eye on. Same as what's happening in Australia just now. Mainly because I have a few friends in Australia as well, and they've been affected. So that's why I'm keeping an eye on that. But mainly I don't watch the news at all, never watched it for about 20 years. But that is a big kind of story because it's going to affect the whole world. But I think it's just a diversion tactic. That's all I think it is, or was, what Trump did to get away from what's happening in the local kind of area, i.e. America, and the economy as well. But anyway, let's dive into the markets. I think Kundalini2222 has just joined us. Same with Gene as well. Good to have you back, mate. G-Slick is in the house as well. Good to see you. Okay, we'll just take a look at what's going on. Just refresh that. So Bitcoin slightly going down. We can see it's dropped about $350, $400 or something, and that's affected the overall market capitalization. It's up to or down to 210 billion. It was about 220 billion yesterday. Bitcoin dominance going up slightly to 68.7%. And winners and losers. We have Lisk. We've seen that jumping up this morning. There was no kind of real warning for Lisk going up. I checked my charts and there was no real warning of it going up, but it's jumped up. I don't know if there's been news on that. Up 23%. Bitcoin, don't know what the hell's going on there. It's up and down. Up 13%. Bitcoin Diamond shot up yesterday as well. 0x is going up. Molecular Future, DX Chain, Ethereum Classic all up, but not by that much. You can see there's only about, 15-20% in the green, just in the green. The rest are in the red because of the Bitcoin dollar value going down. Centrality is only one in double-digit red, down 10.8%, but that did have a jump up. iExec, I think that represents a good opportunity. Any kind of drop down in that represents a good opportunity, I think. We'll just look at the BTC value. We'll probably see a reversal, yeah. So we're seeing a reversal, probably about 70% in the green in Satoshi value and 30% in the red. Gainers and biggest gainers and losers. Just refresh that as well. GameStars is up 136% over the last 24 hours and 268% over the last 7 days. IOU is up 834% over the last 7 days. Haven't heard of that as well. Cora Global is up 126% on 124,000 volume. Main coin is up 106%. Crypto Boss Coin 82. Dad Chain LTO Network LTO. We looked at that towards the end of last year as well. It looked a good one, and it's up 61% on good volume as well. What else is very safe? That's another one that was on the list. PundyX, the NEM coin. This is one of the reasons PundyX is not doing so great, but it's up 22%. The NEM PundyX coin. Navcoin is up 17%. Howdo, I noticed Howdo was starting to go up as well. It's up 16% on 98,000 volume. So I don't know. I've never checked in with the Howdo group for a while. So I need to check in, see what's going on there as well. Apollo Currency is up 15% as well. So not that many. Who's the biggest losers? Acropolis, they were up big time yesterday, so they're down big time today. That's the biggest one. Okay, crypto bubbles, we'll have a quick look at over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin, as we say, up and down all the time. And this is in Satoshi value. So in Satoshi value, we are predominantly green. Dollar value, obviously we're going to be predominantly red because of the Bitcoin price shooting down. That's the biggest one. Lisk, obviously, Bitcoin, ZRX, Bitcoin Diamond, Ethereum Classic are the big movers. We'll look at over the last hour, see what's kind of coming up. Bitcoin, obviously, stealing the show there. That's in Satoshi value. USD value, not much has changed, so it's not really changing. Fear and Greed Index, back down again. So we were at 51 yesterday, which is neutral, and we're kind of slanting towards fear again for mainly the Bitcoin price. You're looking at the other ones, Ethereum, XRP, etc., but mainly the Bitcoin price, the Fear and Greed Index is made up of. So that shows you kind of that the price is down and people are starting to be fearful again. And we'll just go to the TAI. Bitcoin sentiment. This is positive sentiment across the Twitter, and I kind of look at this every day. I think it's worth looking at. Bitcoin sentiment is 56.42, was up to 81 at one point yesterday. Litecoin 59.16, Ethereum 58.48, Monero is high 81.13, so we need to take a look at Monero. And individual coins, this wasn't working yesterday, but we'll take a look today. GoChain down 8.32%, but sentiment is really high, so it could be there's due a jump back up. So we'll have a look at the GoChain chart as well. That could be due a jump up. Lisk, obviously high. Relative trading volume 420%, up 22% today. What else is high? U-Network, we've looked at that as well. UUU, that is down 1.69%. Volume is up and 81.95, so it might be something going on there. And not really much else. Wabi, I like the look of Wabi. For long term, 78.43, relative trading volume is 286%, it's only up 1.14%. Okay, I'll dive back to the chat area. Trump is a muppet. Trump is a puppet, sorry, not a muppet. He might be a muppet as well. On his crypto journey, Trump has been desperate for a war. Unfortunately, think he's going to get it. Yeah, if it kind of escalates from here, he could get it. Obviously, war's a brilliant diversion tactic. And for bringing the country together again. We've seen it in the world wars and other wars as well, apart from the Vietnam War. But war's an amazing tool. And I know it sounds like a terrible thing to say, that it's an amazing tool, but the likes of Trump, he will see that as a tool for bringing the country together and diverting the attention away from somewhere else. That's genuinely what I feel this is. And Kundalini 222, I hope prices stay low for a bit longer so I can accumulate my favourite projects. Yeah, there's a lot of, most of the altcoins I looked at yesterday, I think there was only 2 out of the Binance projects, out of 140 on Binance or something. I think there was only 2 that were showing positive sentiment, and even they went down afterwards, because I called them yesterday in the premium group, and even they went down as well. So we'll have a look at that and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Vin is in house. Good morning to you. Crypto Dread is back with us. New year, same crypto swings. Yeah, exactly. But at least it's in the right direction. We'll have a look at the Bitcoin chart in a second. Gene, crush the likes, folks. Thanks very much. Gene, I appreciate your support, mate. Gordy Boy is back with us. Good to see you, buddy. Stephen King, message retracted. Donny Don Matthews here. Morning, Steve. Morning to the CYT gang. Good morning, everyone. Bit late to the party. Yeah, it's fine. You've not missed much. I've just been going over the basics there, Stephen. But good to see you here, buddy. Okay, we will look at Binance. What's going on at Binance? So there's a new coin listed. We'll just have a look at this as well. Never heard of it. DREP versus new. Vote round 5. Oh, is this? This is not the new coin listed. We'll just have a look at that in a second. $24 hours and close on the 16th. So what's the new coin that's listed? Because there's a new one up here and it says it's undefined, up 143%. So I don't know what it is. Obviously it doesn't tell you. I'm still in Pearl just now, 271. Still holding that at the moment. Bought it for 376, so down big time on that. So I'll just hold it because I know it'll come back up. What else is doing well? Lisk, obviously 27%. NAV coin is up as well by 17%. Bitcoin Diamond seen shooting up yesterday. For what reason, I don't know. I'm probably better looking at these charts. So Lisk we can see there. And you can see here, normally you kind of get some kind of warning, especially on the 4-hour chart. You'll see it crossing over, but this didn't cross over until it kind of shot up to 10,000 from around the kind of 6,000 level. So it shot up about 70% before coming back down again. But there was no warning there. And you can see the RSI was really low, down at 32 as well. Navcoin, no real warning there. I wouldn't say, unless you're looking at the hourly, I guess we're going to have to come down because every single coin is down just now. Even on the 2-hourly, it's still not crossover, so I wouldn't have bought NAV, so there's no warning there. Storm, I said that's in the kind of list. Everything that's flagged with a purple is on the list to jump up by 100% or more over the next couple of months. That's on the 2-hourly. We're going to go to the 4-hourly. So the setup I've got here, just in case you want to know, is obviously the chart. I usually look at the daily and the weekly, but I've got this on the 4-hourly. And then I'll look at the RSI as well. And I'm looking at the MACD levels here. I'm looking for a crossover, looking for a low RSI, looking for a crossover on here as well for the 70 EMA and 50 EMA, and looking for good volume. So I've got these all in one place, which is good to see. And we can make that bigger just by getting rid of that. So it's a good setup. And this is how I look for projects, and as well as news and kind of other things as well. A couple of other things I'll look at as well. Nebleo never gave us any kind of warning as well. HBAR, I quite like the look of HBAR. Just now, I think that's maybe hit its bottom. I don't like the tokenomics of HBAR, which is Hedera Hashgraph. I like the project, but I don't like the tokenomics of it. Probably because I don't understand it as much, but I still not liking the look of it for the moment. But it could jump up from here. It's kind of hit some kind of bottom. I think the risk to reward ratio is quite good for HBAR. We'll jump over to KuCoin as well. See what's doing well on KuCoin. VidDT or VidT is up. I'm holding some of them, but not that much. VidT. I think I was giving them for free as well. There's not that much at all. I think it's 50 or something I've got. I just noticed in my account this morning. So they're up to 1100. Backs, I'll just have a look at Backs as well, see how they're doing. Down to 337 or 3.37 Satoshi. What else is doing well? Lisk, obviously. FKX. They're up 23%. Don't like that about, unless I'm missing something. Fort Knoxter. Yeah, I don't like that about KuCoin. They don't tell you the actual name of it, unless they tell you it's somewhere and I just can't see it. I don't think they do. Blockport are up again as well, 18%. Big time there. Oh, not big time. So nothing much happening. Kick is up again. I noticed that was going up as well a few times. I've seen that kind of going up and somebody was asking about it. Yeah, it's up and down just now. No volume there as well. Okay, dump back. Honest Crypto Journey was just about making trillions for the military industrial. Yeah, definitely. Kukla's in. Good morning, Steve. Did you see SHR went up 353% on Binance X? Yes, because I looked at my portfolio this morning because I've got Coin Tracker and I seen it was up big time and I thought, what the hell is going on? And then I looked at SHR on Bitmart and SHR, it's not moved at all between 36 and 38, so really kind of trading at 37 Satoshi, which is round about where I bought it. So I'm not concerned about SHR at all, because I think it's going to do brilliantly in future, so I'm willing to hold them for the long term and still invested in SHR and what they're doing and still speaking to Tim Boss. Not still speaking to him, but I'm still involved in what they're doing. I really like them for the future as well and still just waiting for February until kind of things start to happen, till the app comes out. So looking forward to that coming up as well. So yeah, I've seen it jumping up. I thought at last people have realised how good this is. But then when I went to Bitmart, I thought it must be on the DEX side of things. It must have jumped up. But yeah, so it has been on the DEX. We'll just have a look actually. SHR. But Binance DEX is only trading about $1,000 worth or something. Not that much at all compared to what Bitmart is doing. So we'll have a look and we'll just see that jump up if it shows. Yeah, it doesn't even show a spike. Well, that's VRAB, so it's not SHR. So we'll see it, maybe we'll see it here. Yeah, the spike there, we can see it. So that's a spike. God knows what's happened there. Somebody's obviously missed a zero or something when they were buying it. Can we see the order books? Trading history. When did it go up? 000. No, can't see it. And what time was it? 9th of January 20. So I'm determined to get to the bottom of this just to see when it did spike up. So it was at 5 o'clock this morning. So what the hell happened at 5 o'clock? Who bought? 17. There's no indication, there's not a zero missing or anything. This is the trading history. I don't know how it's gone up, and that's exactly what's happened. Somebody is miscalculating, missed out a zero when they were buying, I think, but it doesn't show on here, so I don't know what's happened there. Yeah, so I got quite excited with that, but alas, it was not to be. That was for SHR. Okay, we'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart just now. This is Bitcoin just now. We're sitting at 7,921. And this is on the hourly. The hourly has crossed down over. I said yesterday as well, we'll just go to the kind of daily on this. So I said yesterday about this. We'll take this off. This was a price projection. Once I hit this line here, we're probably going to go short. That's exactly what has happened. Kind of hit that round about the 7,450 level and kind of subsequently came down, dropped that by about $400-500. So that would have been a good time to short. I didn't short, but I said that would have been a good time to short. And I said you might want to wait to see if it breaks out before you're going long. It's not broken out of here. This is where we want to break out from. This line here, the upper resistance line. And we've got the lower support line of that descending channel as well. As long as we stay above this green line here, I'm quite happy for Bitcoin, quite positive about Bitcoin and where it's headed just now. And I suppose if we were going to look at kind of the short term, look on the micro level, you could say Bitcoin is going to go down further from here. Yeah, let's see if it's going to go down further from here, though it's hit some kind of support around about here. You've got support around about the 7,900 level, 7,890, so could bounce from here as well. You've got some kind of support there, but that's on the micro level. I'd rather look at it on the macro level and just kind of concentrate on that, the longer term. This is not even the macro level, it's kind of weekly. We're still good, we're still on a green candle on weekly. If we go to the monthly, still on a green candle on the monthly, just a blip there as well. But you can see this structure still holds, this descending channel structure, still holding very, very well. And it's kind of dropped down from where it hit there quite nicely. So in effect, we could still go down to 5,689. Round about there, 5,689, and it would still be within that structure, which it has been for the last 7 months or so. Yep, 7 months. So it could still go down there. Obviously, we wouldn't want that. Don't want it to go down below this green line. And that's when I would start to kind of get more concerned with the Bitcoin price. But at the moment, it looks good. It still looks good to me just now. There's no concern there at all for the Bitcoin price. Certainly not for me. And we have to remember it's jumped up by about $1,100 already to where it was. So it was at kind of below 6,400 it was at. And it's jumped up more than $1,100. So it's still doing well. And still a lot of volatility, that's the only thing. And that's all we can expect with Bitcoin for the moment. G-Slick has given some ones to look at. I will do. I'll look at them as well. Did you buy? Crypto Knowledge Alliance is in house. Good morning to you. Very on Jimbo. And good to see you, mate. I need to get a catch up with you, see how you're doing. And Donald Matthew, Steve, the ICO on Binance seems to have lost all the hype. Still holding seller. Yeesh, seller's not done so well as well. But the IEOs, yeah, the IEOs have not done really well at all. But I still think they'll come up. Matic kind of killed it back at the end of last year when it dropped by that kind of 50% or so. That kind of killed off the hopes there, but I still think it'll come back eventually. Okay, a couple of news stories, and this is the kind of main one. So a couple of news stories are indicating that because President Trump has backed down from Iran and said there's not going to be any kind of retaliation or anything, they're saying that's why the Bitcoin price has come down. I think that's rubbish, to be honest. I don't think there's any correlation between the Bitcoin price and what's happening with Iran and what Trump is doing just now as well. But they seem to suggest this. You today, recent Bitcoin price drop has silver lining. Why does it matter? So they're saying here, the Bitcoin price dropped by more than 5% after US President Donald Trump announced his decision to de-escalate the military conflict between the US and Iran in his highly anticipated address to the nation. So they're kind of suggesting here, just a suggestion that they're saying there's some kind of correlation there, but there's no correlation whatsoever. It's just a coincidence that the Bitcoin price is coming down. And I think, as I said, it's more likely because it hit the upper resistance line of that descending channel. However, according to Jeff Dorman, the CIO of cryptocurrency asset management firm Arca, this is a positive sign for the top cryptocurrency. This is becoming a macro asset. So this is, it's good from this, well, it could be good from this point of view if you do believe that the price of Bitcoin is correlated to what's happening in the news as well. So in his tweet, Dorman states that Bitcoin is an ambidextrous investment solution. While it's not correlated to assets in the short term, The Iran imbroglio proved that BTC can indeed act as a safe haven during the times of geopolitical unrest. So what they're trying to do here is really say, okay, when something goes wrong in the world, people start to run away from the stock market, start to sell all their stocks and shares and go into Bitcoin, like they do with gold. So there's a correlation between gold and Bitcoin, and obviously is strengthening that correlation between Bitcoin and gold, that Bitcoin is the new gold, that people are going to run to safety and buy Bitcoin when things start to go wrong in the world, economically or kind of geopolitically as well. So I think that's what they're trying to do here, and that can be a good thing. The more and more people that suggest that is a good thing. I don't think there's any correlation whatsoever, but the more and more people that suggest that, like Jeff Dorman, I think it could be a good thing for people thinking about BTC as a safe haven and seeing it as a store of value as well. So that is a good thing from that point of view. I don't believe one word of it, but from that point of view, it can be a good thing. So there's upsides to the news suggesting that Bitcoin is seen as a safe haven in times of kind of conflict like this. This is another one from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin price retreats to 8,000 as Trump diffuses potential war with Iran. Again, an indication that they're suggesting that there's a correlation there. And saying over the last few hours, the price of Bitcoin began to falter to 8,300 and dropped all the way to support 8,000 as United States President Donald Trump stated that he would not seek further military action, blah, blah, blah. It should also be noted that since the 6th of January, Bitcoin price has rallied more than 15%, that's exactly what I was saying, for an 1,100 gain or so swing, and day traders could also be taking profits. That's the more likely scenario, but still the headline suggests that there's a correlation between the Bitcoin price and what's happening with kind of Trump and Iran just now. So it serves a purpose. That is serving a purpose. If you look at the underlying reasons why they're doing that, the underlying reasons could be a good thing. They're trying to make Bitcoin a safe haven. That's what they're trying to get in the minds of people. This real story is nothing to do with Iran or Trump. It's trying to kind of get people to look at Bitcoin as a safe haven and as a store of value as well. So that news will be going all over. There's loads of kind of news stories suggesting this correlation as well. But in actual fact, I don't think there's a correlation whatsoever. But the more and more people that say it, the more and more news stories people kind of read, and the more and more news that comes out with that kind of correlation, the more it's going to stick in the minds of people, and they're going to see Bitcoin as a safe haven. So from that point of view, it's a good thing. But look at the underlying reason for everything. Same with what Trump's doing just now. Look at the underlying reason, or think about the underlying reason. Other news stories. Bitcoin is winning the adoption race in the crypto space, says Bloomberg analyst. So a report published by a senior commodity strategist for Bloomberg Intelligence, Mike McGlone, has revealed the analyst believes Bitcoin is winning the adoption race in the cryptocurrency space and could keep rising in 2020. Nothing new there. So according to the report, there are two factors, and this is the key thing to take into account benefiting Bitcoin, is fixed supply of 21 million and increasing adoption as a store of value asset. And the analyst wrote BT's supply is set to increase only 2.5% this year on its path to zero growth. Our takeaway is straightforward. Bitcoin is winning the adoption race, notably as a store of value in an environment that favours independent quasi-currencies. That's a good thing. That's a good report, actually. It's a good thing that has been seen as a store of value. I'd still like to see it as a currency, which was what was intended for, and I still think that is going to happen with the likes of Lightning and everything else that's going on. I think the technology is going to advance, and we're going to see it as a currency as well as a store of value as well. Hopefully, that's what's going to happen. Bitcoin bull run. 3 reasons why Bitcoin will continue to surge. So Bitcoin is on the verge of entering 6-month bullish channel. The most recent price move also shifted the analysis of technical indicators, signaling Bitcoin may be ready to follow a bullish scenario. I do agree with that. 3 technical indicators suggested a new upward drive may be possible. Bitcoin price managed to bounce off the year's long trend of higher lows. The second technical factor was a small head and shoulders pattern, which had been seen by Peter Brandt, pending penetration of 6-month channel as well. So he's shown this in his tweets, and there's a couple of tweets here. Excuse me. So Peter Brandt is saying, has a new bull market begun? Market held support at lower boundary of multi-year channels. Small head and shoulders bottom daily chart. Pending penetration of 6+ month channel. If enough crypto cultists have been shaken out since December 17, then yes. If not, then no. So it's kind of a yes or no scenario, saying yes, it could be an upward kind of movement, or no, it might not be. So that's really all we can do with Bitcoin. If we're being really honest with ourselves, nobody can predict what's going to happen with Bitcoin. However, if we still look at Bitcoin, that's all I'm going to focus on. This line here, this big green line here, and in fact, we'll change the color of that. We'll not make it red. That spells danger. Purple. This purple line here is the key line for me, and that's a key line for support, and it's held that support line for 7 years. So that is really all we need to go on. And if you look, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, I'll probably still keep harping on about this. If we look and go over the next couple of years, the lowest point that Bitcoin is going to be in 3 years' time, we're talking 71,000. 5 years' time, we're talking nearly 2, 3, 4, 500,000 as well. This is all we should be focusing on. We cannot predict the price of Bitcoin. There's no way we can predict it. It's nowhere near stable enough yet. It's nowhere near adopted enough yet for us to be able to predict the price with any kind of certainty. And even then, we're still not going to be able to predict the price with any kind of certainty. But it's good to look at that. It's good to look at these reports as well and what kind of Peter Brandt is talking about. Yeah, that's somebody saying as well, Peter Sahab is saying the halving may not be priced in. I don't think the halving is priced in, to be honest. New York will launch its own digital currency if this proposal passes. So I thought this was quite interesting. A pair of state lawmakers and a Cornell Law School professor teaming up to push a proposal that would establish a statewide public alternative to banking in New York, as well as a state digital currency. You know, New York's its own kind of laws and stuff like that as well, and a lot of people pay attention to it. Nationwide, more than 14 million American adults lacked bank accounts in 2017, according to data from the US government's Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. The reasons vary, ranging from personal choice to a host of prohibitive factors like lack of personal identification and unemployment. So Robert Hockett, who joined Cornell's law facility in 2004, has proposed on the topic of creating a state payments platform and currency in New York that aims to alleviate economic issues for individuals and small businesses without bank accounts. So I guess cryptocurrency is ideal for that. New York could be a good platform for it. It could be a micro kind of view of what could happen around the world as well, if that kind of proposal was passed as well, and two guys are looking at doing that. So I thought it was interesting. I think it's a long way off, but I thought it was interesting that even they're kind of thinking about it from that point of view, and I think that's how we should be thinking about cryptocurrency as well. Bitcoin to top 14,000 before May if history repeats itself. If history repeats itself. So this is from Red Capital. In the year of the halving, but still before the halving, Bitcoin has always reached a new high relative to the high of the previous year. So halving 1, it was $7.40 before the halving, and then it was $15.40 after that, so 100% rise. Halving 2, $504 up to $794, which is a 50% rise. Halving 3, if we're going kind of stepping it, should be a 25% rise from 14,000. 14,000 was 25% of 14,000, roughly about 4,000, 3,500 onto that, 17,500 possibly, if we kind of go with that. But there's not much to talk about historically wise, but there's a tweet here, quite interesting as well, and this is from a rebuttal from Valerios, and he's given an interesting kind of look at this as well. So these kind of lines are the halvings, the kind of vertical lines here are the halvings, the halving dates. So it's got kind of leading up 140 days, it was 68% up leading up to the halving, and 234 days it took, 100% up leading up to the halving as well. 207 days, and it doesn't give a percentage kind of what it's going up to, obviously, because we don't know yet. So judging by that, 68%, 100%, might see 100% again, so up to 14,000, 15,000 as well. Third Bitcoin halving, May 14, 2020, Bitcoin will be, obviously we don't know. So everybody's talking about this halving, but I think the more and more that we come up to the date for the halving as well, May 2020 or May this year, I think the price is going to rise, and I think we are extremely bullish for Bitcoin, and I see Bitcoin being extremely bullish as well. I don't see it going to these kind of 5,000 levels again, or 6,000 levels. I don't see that happening again. I'm just extremely bullish. I'm going to change that back because I like the green better. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. Don't know what your thoughts are. Where do you think it's going to go? Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on the replay. But let me know in the comments where you think Bitcoin is going to be. Are you bullish on Bitcoin just now? Do you feel bullish on it or not? Right, we'll go back to the chat area, then we'll look at a couple of charts as well. Chris Cash is in the house. Welcome to you. Good to see you here. Can you look at Mana token later on? Yeah, I will do. I'll check that out after. I'll look at G-Slick's ones as well. Ajmal Salim is in the house. Good morning to you. Stephen King, only 4 likes on my screen. YouTube not updating likes. Yeah, YouTube doesn't update the likes. 12 likes. Spank those likes. Can we keep up with the great live streams, mate? You're appreciated. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, buddy. Honestly, I do appreciate that. Mick Lund is in. I can't like on my side. And David Schwartz, hello, smash up the likes, everyone. Thanks very much, David. Good to see you here. God Boy Safe Haven, 7 years on. Who do you know that buys it? Who has actually used it? Who accepts it? At this time, countries are developing their own digital currency behind the scenes. Yeah, I don't see it. No, I still think it's going to be used as a safe haven, but not because of what's happening just now. And I think it is going to be used as a store of value as well. I know you're down on it, kind of Gordy Boy, but are you trading it? Are you buying what you're doing with Bitcoin just now in cryptocurrency, or what you're doing with cryptocurrency just now? I know you're kind of down on Bitcoin. You don't like Bitcoin. So what are you doing with cryptocurrency? Just curious. I'm not kind of challenging you. Well, I guess I am, but I'm just curious as to what you're doing. But yeah, I still think it's going to be used as a store of value and as a currency as well. You remember, it's only 11 years old. Only 11 years old. And the timescale of fiat currency, that is not a long time at all. But I do think the next decade is going to be huge for Bitcoin. The fact is here, still 11 years on, and it's not been crushed. It's testament to what's happening with Bitcoin, what's happening with cryptocurrency, and what's changing with blockchain as well. Kundalini, they may be developing their own digital currency, but will never come close to Bitcoin, Litecoin, etc. What they offer. Why you even here if you think that, mate? Yeah, it's kind of question I was asking, but I'm asking really genuinely, curiously, what are you doing with cryptocurrency? Are you trading it? Is that what you're using it for? Close to Bitcoin, it's never technology advanced. I'm a blockchain fan, right? Okay. Crypto Knowledge Alliance, what's your take on XRP, USD? I'll take a look at that as well. Dennis Van der Hayden, APL. Professor Foxtrot, Bitcoin has everything to do with the nasty guy Obama. Why'd you say that? Interested to see why you say that. Holding in dollar cost averaging. Yes, that's kind of what I'm doing as well. Okay, so we'll look at some of the charts and we'll go back. Who was the first one to ask? So sorry if I miss anybody, I just have to go through. We'll start with G-Slick. I don't think anybody asked before then. G-Slick ETN. So we need to go to charts.cointrader. ETN, BTC. Oh, Coin Paprika, that's not good. We'll just see what the difference is and see if Coin Paprika is still out. So ETN, BTC, and we'll go to CoinMarketCap. It's the same, so Coin Paprika might be back up and running again. Right, okay, so this is a daily. We're close to, and we have to put our kind of fundamentals in. So we're talking here is the bottom. Support, I would say long-termish support. And where's the next resistance? Obvious one, probably around about there. So we're kind of in the middle of that just now. The 70 EMA has crossed down over the 50 EMA, but a lot of vaults are doing that just now because of the Bitcoin price rise over the last couple of days. So there's no surprise there. So, but we'd have to go down to the 4 hourly just to see what it's going to be like in the short term. We're still crossed down over the 50 EMA in the 4 hourly, although we've seen a rise up just now. And just have a look at the rise, 8% or so. But it doesn't look good at the moment, so it wouldn't be a buy-in at the minute. It wouldn't be a good entry price just now. I'd wait for a better entry price, or a better entry point, should I say, not price, but a better entry point before going into ETN. Long term, longer term, it's not looking brilliant. It needs to break out of that kind of 59.60 area before it's going to go up. But we've got the bottom there at 33, and that's being used as support. So I guess, again, ETN still would be a good risk to reward ratio, or a good risk to reward, or it has a good risk to reward ratio. And you've got other areas you're looking at, 72, 204 and 355, and we've looked at that before, these kind of support and resistance lines as well. So a good risk to reward ratio as well for that. ETN, we've got CAP as well you want to look at, CAP, and we'll go BTC, coin market cap, up to 25 Satoshis just coming up. So that's on a weekly. We'll go on the daily. That looks much better on a daily. You can see it's crossed over on the daily big time. Crossed over at 13 Satoshi. So it's already gone up 100% and coming back down. So then we have to kind of look at where is it? Fib retracement. I'm going to go over from the crossover. Fib retracement at the 50% level, if we go from the bottom, which most people will do, we're kind of just below the 38% level, but I'm going to stick with the crossover on the daily, and we're at that 50% level just now. It could come down to here at 22 Satoshi, which is not that far away from where it is just now, so it could come down there before bouncing back up. That's kind of golden ratio at 0.618 or 61.8%. So 22 is that level just now, but it's had a good run, had a 100% run up just now. Capacity, what's it like for in a marketplace? Just the fundamentals. So 1 million market cap, good volume as well, 68,000. So this could be a good hidden gem. What's it been before? It's been up to 40 cents before, and it's 0.001, so 1/10 of a cent at the minute. So what did it, the market cap was up to 94, so 94 times from where it is just now. So don't know anything about it. It doesn't really tell us there. So it could be a good wee hidden gem, this. Available platform for creating, embedding and analysing 3D and AR, VR content. So probably fair to say it's probably unique. So you'd have to dig deep into that, but 1 million market cap, I think that's worth looking at. So thanks for that. LTC, we'll look at the main charts for LTC. LTC, we'll look at BTC. I looked at it yesterday. You can see from a Satoshi value point of view, I'm going to pull this down and probably go here. I'm going to pull this down and do the next kind of level up, or the next resistance area, probably 614,000. It's 572,000 just now. So we're kind of in the middle of this area just now, but from a trader's point of view, it's still not a good entry point. for Litecoin at the minute, so it might have still a wee bit to go down further. So I guess it depends what Bitcoin is going to do before people buy into it. From a USD point of view, it's going to be different. Yeah, you can see there it crossed over at $41, got all the way up to $48. But that's because of the Bitcoin price, so I just don't see the point in looking at the USD value. VET has kind of come down as well. BT, VChain. So 68 at the minute. We can use the Fibonacci. We'll do it from the crossover there at the bottom point. That's on a 4 hour low, probably better going on a daily for this. Yeah, so we're hitting that 61.8% level. So around about 67, 63 I did get down to when Bitcoin price went up. So from that point of view on the daily, it doesn't look like a kind of an entry point just now. If we're looking at it from the 4 hourly, which we kind of have to do because every coin or every project is down just now. It's not looking like a buy just now, so it might come down a wee bit more. It could even come down to 56 or 55 before it bounces again, but it's staying close to the 61.8% level. It's 67, 68-ish. So we'll see if it bounces from here, but I'd wait for maybe a crossover, maybe at the 72 level for an entry point. If you're holding, I wouldn't be worried about VChain at all if you're holding that long term, in my opinion. DGB, we'll have to look at DGB. DGB, BTC. Down, 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 big time just now. Well, not big time, but it's down. So going to the daily. See that support line is still just holding. So we've done this before and looked at the support line. We've seen it bounce off there a couple of times, and it could bounce from here as well. But we've seen a couple of points where it's kind of come down all the way down to 18 Satoshi a couple of times actually. So there might be spikes down. I wouldn't be entering Digibyte just now. Looking at this, I'd be waiting for a crossover at least on the 4 hour or back up over that support line at 74. That might now become resistance. So if that becomes resistance, obviously it could go back down further, but I'd be waiting for a break above 74 and maybe the crossover on the 4 hourly or the daily before even entering Digibyte just now. So it doesn't look good short term, unfortunately. Mana is the next one. I like this for the long term. So on the 4 hourly, doesn't look good for an entry price. If we're looking on the daily, we've crossed over on the daily, so it could come down to that 50 EMA and bounce off that at 404. But well, it has bounced off that, sorry. If we look at that, so a lot of the times what happens, if you notice, you'll see it kind of comes down to the 70 EMA and bounces off the 70 EMA, which it did kind of going up the way. Or the 50 EMA, a lot of the times it bounces off the 50 EMA here as well. You can see it bounced off here, around about here as well, it's bounced off. It's when it crosses down over that and the 70 EMA crosses down over the 50 EMA, that's when you've got to say, okay, this might be a good time to sell it. Or if you're a long-term holder, then you might want to accumulate as it goes lower as well. But again, we'll have to do the fundamentals and put in our kind of bottom. So this is support. You can see it's kind of double bounced off there. There's a double bottom there before it bounced at 291 and did a good run up, nearly 100%. I like this for the long term. It's a unique kind of project, Decentraland, and I like it for the long term. I think it could really take off. I think it's going to be a slow process for it. But yeah, if you look at where it's been as well. But yeah, I do like this for the long term. And that was Mana. What are the other ones? APL. Right, APL, BTC. It's coming up. So it's not breaking that. Oh, I've got that resistance line. Yeah, about 9. The resistance line. So it needs to break through that and get on up to 10 before I would say, okay, this is a buy now. but we've got strong support at the 7 Satoshi level. So I guess the risk to reward ratio will be quite good on this, because we're at the all-time low for Apollo currency. But at the moment, we'll just see if there's a buy on the 4 hourly. Yeah, it's just coming into a buy on the 4 hourly just now. 7, 8, 9. Yep. Just coming into a buy, but once it breaks it, the 9 or the 10, once it breaks that, once it goes up to 10, I think you'll be looking at that as well to kind of buy and possibly go up by 100% or more. B Pro thoughts? Haven't heard of B Pro. What's B Pro? Bet protocol. Never heard of it. 500,000, 277,000 volume. That's good volume. So it's just came on to CoinMarketCap. Where is it trading? DigiFinex, KuCoin. It's trading good on KuCoin as well. I'm doing good volume. I've never seen that. Never looked into it. But looking at the volume looks really good on that. Even without this DigiFinex, the volume is still good on that. This could be one to look at. Launched on the 18th of December, based in Portugal, Bet Protocol aims to enable anyone to create gaming platforms in minutes. No coding is required. Bet Protocol leverages blockchain technology with the goal of making these platforms secure, scale. See, I like that. I like the fact that there actually is not a betting protocol website, or it's not a betting website. It's actually a creation website where they're offering the platform to actually build betting platforms on it. I like that fact. That could actually be a good one as well. I'm going to put that in 1 sec. First round. What was the other one we done first round? No, that wasn't it. Where is it? 1 sec. What was that? Cap. It was cap, wasn't it? Cap, want to add that. I don't know if I've added that already. Cap. First round. You can see there's a lot in the first round there. This is just ones to research, so that could be a good one. So thanks for sharing that. Professor Foxtrot, Bitcoin gained traction because American people lost faith in Obama and therefore fiat currency. This is attributed to his policies, which are essentially communist. So you're not an Obama fan then? Gary Pimento, with the BTC drop, many traders have the jitters from previous flash crashes. Therefore, any slight drop incites fear in an electronic herd. Yes, indeed. Go to buy a trade Bitcoin when it's on its way up to make a few quid, but I never go in heavy to something that's centered around speculation. Right, I'm with you. So I just wondered what you were doing here, if you're so kind of against kind of Bitcoin, but obviously you're trading it. So that's what you're doing here. Mick Lund, Krios, do you think is a good buy? Krios. Why have I heard of that? Krios. Describes itself as a freelancer-focused platform to tie experts as needed to companies and envisions itself as being the market-focused equivalent of Upwork.com. Freelancer, there's a lot of competition in that field, in that area. Freelancer and Fiverr.com. Krios will also be supporting a profit share of the revenues to KRI holders, which register in the company. So 500 million in circulation, in total supply, 178 million, so probably about 35% in circulation at the minute. 87,000 volume, which is good. Where's the trading? P2P, B2B. That platform is actually okay. LA token, not doing much volume on there. Interesting, but there's a lot of competition on that. Just have a look at the website very quickly. And the Krios higher share network. Now, I don't know too much about it at all, but I don't see the uniqueness of it. I don't see what's its USP, what makes it stand out from the rest. I know there's competition in the space, and competition is good because I think you can do better when you've got competition rather than not having any competition, but it's just another... I don't know what the USP is. The fact that it's on the blockchain, that's not a USP per se. And that's not to say it's not going to do well. I'd need to look into it more. So I can't really answer that question, to be honest, but still interesting. I like the works and the likes of kind of freelance and Upwork, and I use them quite a lot, to be honest. Hex is back to 1 sat. Never liked the look of Hex at all. Can you have a look at Metamorph, please, Lawrence Matthews? Haven't looked at that in a while. Metam, BTC. 13 Satoshi. Close to its all-time low. I don't know what they're doing at the minute. The team at Metamorph. I was big on Metamorph last year and what they were doing, but they just didn't deliver the goods. Or it wasn't that they didn't deliver the goods, they actually delivered the platform. It was because they didn't onboard enough users. So I guess the marketing wasn't as good as it could have been. And that's obviously what's really let them down. But they could still come up. I've not kept up to date with what they're doing, but they could still come up. But 13 Satoshi just now is pretty bitty, to be honest, the trading. Just coming up on a crossover, so it could be a good risk to reward ratio for that one, for Metamorph. And it's a shame because I really liked the platform they were doing. I really liked what they were trying to do as well. It is a shame. So I don't think they just got the marketing right. They didn't onboard enough users. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. And last one out, hit the likes on the way out as well. And that would be good if you could do that. But until tomorrow, namaste. Take care. Bye now.